House wreck. The place was burned. Our protagonist's world is finished, and all his family members are dead. Only the heads of his parents are only left. That monster killed everyone in his family, and he wishes he would have died too, but that's what he just thought. The monster chops our protagonist's head, then the monster drags our protagonist's body, then the monster eats it. On the other hand, the other monster tells his monster friend that he is full. His friend responded that all he just did was eat, but his friend thinks it's fun to play with people. Then he tells his friend if he's gonna do that again, he should eat something else. The monster said he cannot give up on the delicious food for such a lame reason. To which his friend laughed and agreed. Suddenly the monster noticed something. Then he pointed to the other monster who currently holding an arm, and asked if he's saving that for later. Suddenly our protagonist angrily launched an attack on the monster. Unfortunately, the monster grabbed our protagonist's neck, and when the monster saw our protagonist's face he was confused. Then the monster lifted our protagonist in one hand while looking at his other hand currently holding an arm. The monster wonders what's happening because he was sure the guy he was holding was the one that he currently eating. Then the monster drops the arm he's holding on the ground, then grabs the arm of our protagonist. Then the monster pulled the arm off, which made him shocked. The monster drops our protagonist who's screaming in pain. But while our protagonist crying in pain, his hand is regenerating, which made the monster shocked and then smile when they saw that our protagonist completely regenerates his arm. One of the monsters shouted to ask how his arm keeps regenerating, and he thinks our protagonist is like a lizard's tail. Then the other monster stepped on our protagonist's body while laughing and said he think he can play with everything below our protagonist's head because the other part of his body is regenerating too. Then the other monster said if he have our protagonist he can eat the most delicious food for the rest of his life, which made our protagonist cries in fear. The other monster said it's decided that his three eyes monster friend will raise our protagonist. His friend responded of course, and he said they should give our protagonist's name. Suddenly the other monster who currently stepping on our protagonist said what his friend said earlier would be a nice one. Then the monster looks at our protagonist laughing while saying he looks forward to our protagonist's kind cooperation. Then he called our protagonist's lizard's tail. Then the monster stamped on our protagonist's body that made his body destroy, and he screamed in pain. The ability of regeneration, which our protagonist thought was a gift from God, was nothing but a curse to him. Several years later, at the cave, our protagonist was chained to the rock. Then the three eyes monster said he feels hungry while looking at our protagonist. The other monster tells his friend to give him a leg too. Then the three eyes monster grabs his leg, then pulled our protagonist's leg, which made him scream in pain. Then the three eyes monster throws the leg to the other monster, and the other monster eats it. Our protagonist thinks the regeneration rate has been accelerating every day. However, the pain never disappears. Suddenly, the monster with three eyes was going to unlock the chain. But the other monster saw the three-eye monster and tells it if he's going to play stop what's he doing. The monster also said he had never touched our protagonist's hair because that's his weakness, and if he died it was a big problem for them. The three-eye monster tells the other monster not to worry because he has done that more than once and he won't let our protagonist die. Then the monster unlocked the chain, while saying the other monster means that he only needs to not touch our protagonist's hair. The chain comes off, which made our protagonist free while thinking the lunatic monster keeps doing that when it was hungry. Then the monster called him Lizard Tail and asked what is he doing. Then the monster ordered him to hurry up and come to him, but our protagonist just look at the monster while thinking thanks to the idiot monster, he get the chance to try a punch. The monster mocks him and asks our protagonist if he forgets that they ate his parents already, which made him angry. Then he ran toward the monster while shouting at the monster to shut its mouth. Then he jumps toward the monster while telling the monster that he'll kill him. But the monster just laughs. Then the monster jumped very fast and attacked him, which ended up in our protagonist's missing an arm. The monster who currently biting our protagonist's missing arm while saying that is the correct way to eat humans. The monster swallowed his food, then it jumps and attacks our protagonist while laughing. But our protagonist avoided it. Then the monster attacked him again continuously while telling our protagonist that he was good at avoiding his attack. He's still avoiding the monster's attack while realizes that the monster is using him to eat while playing. Then our protagonist launched an attack on the monster while talking about how dare the monster use him like that. Our protagonist was ready to punch the monster while hoping he can hit the monster with at least one shot. But the monster caught his fist and laughed while saying he see that our protagonist improved. But his skill have improved too. Then the monster breaks his arm, and when the monster was going to bite our protagonist's arm, he saw an opportunity. Then he moved his body that made his arm currently being held by the monster. He twisted and broke it. Then our protagonist inserted his regenerating arm into the monster's mouth, which made the monster choked. Then our protagonist takes his arm out from the monster's mouth, who's still choking while laughing and mocking the monster about how his attack tastes. Then the other monster laughs and asks if the three-eye monster gets hit by our protagonist. Suddenly the monster grabs his head and squeezes it angrily and said how dare him to attack him. But our protagonist just shouted to the monster to hurry up and kill him. The other monster looked at the three-eye monster and said he told him not to kill our protagonist while our protagonist is screaming in pain. Then our protagonist tells the three-eye monster that he was the weakest, and that's why he needs permission to kill him. Then he laughed, which made the three-eye monster angrier. The other monster tells the three-eye monster not to fall for our protagonist's words because he's trying to provoke him. The other monster sigh and walk toward the three-eye monster while saying if the three-eye monster let our protagonist go, he'll take him to the village that he had earmarked and he'll be surprised in there. The three-eye monster smile, then the monster slams our protagonist on the ground while excitedly saying he was waiting for that moment. Then the monster left our protagonist on the ground while walking toward the other monster excitedly saying it's been a while since he hunted. On the other hand, our protagonist on the ground hopelessly thinks the monster won't kill him, and he can't die. A few moments later, our protagonist was biting his chain. Then the three-eye monster walked closely to him while saying that it was pitiful because even though he can't do anything, he keeps struggling. Then the monster laughed and said that is why our protagonist is so funny. Then the other monster drags our protagonist, leaving a trail of blood, while the three-eye monster mocks our protagonist. On the other hand, the blood on the ground was checked by someone, who said that the blood on the ground looks like human blood. However, the amount is a bit too much. Then that someone grabs the sand on the ground angrily and said it was definitely a monster's doing. On the other hand, our protagonist was shouting to the villager to run away because the monsters are coming, which made the monster ask our protagonist what is he made because he's too loud. But our protagonist continuously shouting to warn the villager to run away because the monsters are coming. The three-eye monster asks our protagonist if the villagers hear him and run away, but our protagonist just ignore the monster and continue shouting. Then the three-eye monster tells him that what he means is the humans don't believe anything until they see it, and the monster said that our protagonist knows it so he should shut up and move. But he just ignored the monster again and continue shouting. Suddenly someone made a loud step behind them which made our protagonist and the three monsters look back in shocked. The man tells our protagonist that he did a great job and he couldn't track him because his blood trails disappeared in the middle of the road. But thanks to his scream he was able to find him. Our protagonist tells the man that if he heard it, he should have run away. Then he asked the man what is he doing still and asked him if he can't see the monsters, which made the man speechless. Then the man angrily tells our protagonist to leave the monsters to him. To which the three-eye monster laughed and asked the other monster if he can eat the man. The other monster responded that he can do as he please, but he need to eat the man quickly. The man grabbed something inside his shirt and showed a bell which made our protagonist confused. Then the man started to shake the bell which made a noise. Then the bell handle released a white aura, and the aura spread to the man which made the man eye changed into white. Then suddenly a girl appeared behind the man's back. But the three-eye monster just laughed while running toward the man, and the other monster tried to stop the three-eye monster. Then the man pulled his sword while the three-eye monster was running toward him. Then the man opened his eyes that are now black and cut the monster in half with one swing which shocked the two other monsters and our protagonist. The man introduced himself as Chenwu, a monster hunter. The monster just looks at Chenwu confused, which made Chen ask if they hadn't ever heard of it before. And he explained that the monster hunter is the one who kills the monsters. Suddenly, the other monster who holding our protagonist throws our protagonist aside and angrily ran toward Chen while saying Chen will stop the nonsense when he'll eat him. Then the other monster used its tentacles from his back to attack Chen also, while the other monster is running toward Chen. But Chen deflects all the attack of the monster before it can hit him. Then the other monster tried to punch Chen while saying Chen mouth runs too wild and he will shut it for him. Then the monster attack made a big splash around them, but Chen just hold the monster fist which made the monster shocked. Then Chen looked at his sword while holding the monster's fist and said the word Senjito, to which the purple aura around him increased. Then Chen's sword showed a light. Suddenly the monster take his fist back and tried to punch Chen with its other fist, but Chen lifted his sword and cut the monster in half. Then the monster body split in half, then suddenly a light from above fall to the ground and cuts the ground. The other monster notices it, then jumps to the side to avoid it. When the monster looked back to the ground, he saw the ground cut in half. Chen angrily looks at the monster, which made the monster beg Chen to spare him. But Chen pierced the monster with an aura in the chest which made the monster fall to the ground. Chen sigh in relief, then he free our protagonist from the chain. Chen tells him to relax because there aren't any monsters, which made our protagonist wonder if Chen thinks he's scared. Then our protagonist laughs and cries at the same time while thinking he was just touched by the fact that Chin can kill the monsters. Chin asks him if he's okay. Suddenly our protagonist faces Chin while saying "me too," which made Chin confused. Our protagonist, who's laughing and crying at the same time, asks Chin if he can teach him because he wants to kill the monsters too. Our protagonist stands up and asks Chin again to teach him because he wants to kill the monsters. Chin held his shoulder and responded that they are monster hunters and that if he wants to join them, he can apply as a trainee. Then Chin walked toward the monster while telling our protagonist that they should return to the group together, and Chin said he will teach him as much as he wants once they reach the group. Then Chin checks the monster using his sword and realizes it is still alive. Then Chin lifts his sword in the air aiming at the head of the monster while telling our protagonist that they'll head to a nearby village for now. On the other hand, our protagonist gets a big stone on the ground, then hits his hand using it, which made Chin shocked, and asks what is he doing. Our protagonist showed his hand that currently regenerating to Chin while saying his body can regenerate. Chin just looks at our protagonist, realizing that the reason why our protagonist hasn't had any scars. Then our protagonist tells Chin that all those years he couldn't die because of his regenerative ability, and he was eaten by monsters again and again, which made Chin shocked and angrily realizes that our protagonist was a captive. Then our protagonist said he don't want to be a new soldier and all he wants is to kill the monsters. Then our protagonist kneeled on the ground begging Chin to tell him how to kill the monsters. Chin grabbed his sword angrily while thinking he was too late, and he wondered what kind of life had our protagonist lived all those years. Then Chin returned his sword to its case and asked our protagonist what his name was. Our protagonist happily responded that his lizard's tail, but our protagonist realizes something. Chin asks if he hears our protagonist right. On the other hand, our protagonist realizes that the lizard's tail is the name given by the monsters, and he also wonders why he spits that word so casually. Then our protagonist angrily cursed the monsters who tortured him, and he decided to accept the monster's name they gave to him so that he never forget what the monsters did to him. Then our protagonist angrily responded to Chin that his name is a lizard's tail. Chin tells Lizard that he'll teach him, which made Lizard shocked and asked if Chin really going to teach him. But Chin responded that the method will be extremely painful. Then he asked Lizard if he can endure it. Lizard creepily responded that all those years he had lived in nothing but unimaginable pain, and the only thing that matters to him is that he can kill the monsters. Chin smiled and tell Lizard that he'll tell him something good before their training. Then Chin grabs the monster ring while saying when a monster dies, its ring disappears, which means the monster he was holding isn't dead yet. Then Chin lifts up the monster while saying at the very least, he'll help Lizard to kill the monster he was holding. Lizard happily thanked Chin. A moment later, someone coughed and opened its eyes. The monster who is currently chained in the stone said he was still alive, but he wondered why. Then the monster said how dare they tie him up with something like a chain, and he said he can break it easily. Suddenly a sword pierced at the monster's shoulder. Then Chin, who was sitting above the stone, tells the monster that although chains won't keep him tied up, he can tell by the sound by its moving. Then Chin also tells the monster that if the chain breaks, he'll die. Then he asks the monster if he gets it. The monster responded he got it. Then Chin jumps off the stone and tells the monster to wait till Lizard awakens. Then he'll give him a chance to run away, which made the monster angry and think he doesn't care about Lizard. Chin tells Lizard that is going to teach him how to possess the divine power. Then Chin said every human being is connected to the divinity, which made Lizard shocked while looking at Chin's hand. Chin explained that if Lizard immerses himself in that divinity and feels the divine power, Lizard can use the divine power. Then Chin looks at Lizard while saying that is why the monster hunter is strong, which made Lizard nod to sign that he understands. Then Chin said the first step to possess the divine power is to open his sixth sense, which made Lizard ask what is the sixth sense. Chin explained it was the feeling of senses, but it takes a long time to open his sixth sense. Lizard asks how long it takes to open his sixth sense. Chin responded that it varies from person to person, but it can take years or even decades at the most. Chin's answer made Lizard sad and said if it takes that long, then his revenge will take too long. But Chin said he'll help Lizard force open his sixth sense, which made Lizard light up again because there was a fast way. But Chin reminds Lizard that it would be very painful to do that way. Lizard confidently said it doesn't matter. Chin held Lizard's head while holding the bell. Then he said he'll open up Lizard's sixth sense. Then Chin closes his eyes while shaking the bell. Then the bell releases a white aura that confused Lizard. Lizard's sixth sense was open. Suddenly Lizard feels something and saw black fog coming out to his body. Chin explained that the black fog is the sixth sense, the sense of divine power. Then Chin asks Lizard how does the sensation feel. Lizard responded that it was creepy, but it's not painful at all, as Chin said. Chin put his bell back on his shirt while explaining that he's sure it was like that for now because originally, Lizard have to work slowly to build trust with the divinity to become capable of possessing the power. Then Chin tells Lizard that if he forces himself to possess the divine power, the divinity will refuse his request. Lizard shouted that what Chin did was meaningless. But Chin said no, and he explained that even if the possession is refused, Lizard can still forcefully hold onto it and undergo an incomplete possession. However, incomplete possession is divinity's half power, which means Lizard will not be able to use the full power of divinity, but Lizard will still be able to use half of it. Lizard asks Chin if they can kill the monster even if their power is half. Chin responded yes, then order Lizard to close his eyes and focus only on his sixth sense, and he will know how to call the divinity. Lizard confidently agreed and said he'll try it. Then Lizard closed his eyes and tried to focus on his sixth sense. But all he can hear is noise. Then he hears someone cuss a word which made him wonder. Then Lizard eye opens while behind him were two powerful eyes. On the other hand, Chin was confused to hear Lizard cuss. Then Lizard kneeled one knee on the ground while swearing to someone. Then Lizard opened his eyes and tried to catch his breath. Then Chin asks Lizard if he really means to say the god who likes swearing, and Chin also said Lizard is an interesting guy. Then Chin walked toward Lizard while asking if Lizard could endure the pain. Lizard responded yes, and he said he was surprised, but he'd think he can manage. Chin tells Lizard that he now needs to force himself to hold on and don't let go after calling the divinity. Lizard stand up, then inhale and cussed. Then he tried to call the divinity again. Lizard endures the pain while telling himself to keep going. Lizard veins is starting to pop out and Lizard eye slowly shows its veins too. But Lizard was determined even he's in so much pain. Lizard also tells himself that he must hold on to it. This makes Chin proud and thinks he had his doubts about Lizard. But Lizard really managed to do it. On the other hand, Lizard thinks it's trying to get out of him because his whole body feels like it's going to explode. Chin tells Lizard that the remaining problem is to endure the pain while moving. Then he asks Lizard if he can handle it. Lizard angrily sunk his feet on the ground, then ran toward the monster who was chained in the stone while saying he'll try to kill the monster. The monster was shocked to see Lizard running toward him. Then the monster immediately frees itself, then dodges before Lizard attacks hit him. Then it looked at the smiling Lizard in shock and confusion. Then Chin tells the monster that it was an opportunity to run away, and if he can beat Lizard, he'll free him, which made the monster shocked. Lizard looks at the monster while smiling and tells the monster that they should do it. The monster just looks at Lizard and wonders if is that really Lizard. The monster also wonders how Lizard becomes so strong in such a short amount of time. Then he looks at Chin wondering what did Chin do to Lizard. And the monster angrily looks at Lizard while thinking the result Chin wants will never be true. Lizard stomps his feet forcefully, then jumps toward the monster and is ready to attack it. But the monster ran toward Lizard back while saying no matter how strong Lizard becomes, if Lizard can't move, it's over. Then the monster made his claws long and cuts Lizard back using it. The cut from the claw of the monster regenerates while Lizard feels it like a cut. Then Lizard laughs while thinking the cut was itching, but he feels it like the monster just scratched him. Then Lizard landed on the ground and immediately launches toward the monster while laughing. The monster attacks Lizard, which cuts Lizard's mouth. Then the monster avoided Lizard attack. Then the monster cuts Lizard leg using its claws, which made Lizard unbalanced. Then the monster saw the opportunity and tried to pierce Lizard's head. But before Lizard get his head pierced, suddenly Lizard disappeared, which made the monster shocked. Then Lizard said as he expected. The monster liked it when he pretended to be duped, which made the monster remember how the three-eye monster played with Lizard before. Then Lizard punched the monster's face, which made the monster thrown on the ground. The monster stands up while coughing and thinking that Chin trained Lizard's tail. Then Lizard looks at the monster smiling while continuously saying he'll kill the monster. Then Lizard launches toward the monster. On the other hand, Chin, who's looking at the fight, thinks Lizard's agile movement while enduring the pain is amazing, and he also knows that it's the same as completing an imperfect image in one go. While looking at Lizard, he also thinks Lizard is talented and maybe better than him because he has a better sense of devotion to divinity more than anyone else. On the other hand, Lizard punched the monster, but the monster avoided it and laughs. Then the monster stabs Lizard using its tentacles, but Lizard just laughs and holds one of the monster's tentacles, which made the monster confused. Then Lizard bite off the tentacle, which made the monster in pain and punch Lizard away. Then Lizard jumps backwards on the ground 2 times before managing to land on the ground properly. Then he spits out a piece of tentacle he bites, and then Lizard laughs while saying that he's having fun and his feeling is good. The monster angrily holds his horn behind his back while threatening Lizard to wait for it. Then the monster forcefully pulling the horn out of him. Then the monster pulled a horn out that turns out to be a sword, while the blood behind him was pouring. The monster also tells Lizard that he'll cut Lizard's head into small pieces. Lizard was stunned for a moment. Then Lizard started laughing because he realized that the horn from the monster's back is a weapon, which made the monster confused while walking toward Lizard. Then Lizard hold his hand while saying it'd be more fun if there are weapons. Then Lizard squeezed his arm and pulled it off. Then he hold his arm while saying his weapon would be his arm, which made Chin shocked. The monster clenched his teeth, then jumped toward Lizard while holding his sword and shouting to tell Lizard that it's time's up for joking around. Then Lizard ready his arm while saying the monster is right because his name is Lizard Tail. Then Lizard blocked the monster sword using his arm. The monster was shocked and realized that he can't cut through Lizard bone. On the other hand, Chin wonders if the monster can't cut the lizard bone because lizard pulled it with the divine power. Or maybe it is a coincidence, but Chin thinks it's fun or it's more like a stupefying idea. On the other hand, Lizard made the monster back off a little, then Lizard reached and grabbed the monster's hand, which made the monster shocked. Then Lizard smiled creepily at the monster while saying he caught him. Then Lizard used his weapon arm to cut the monster's arm, which made the monster scream in pain. Suddenly Lizard attacks the monster using its weapon arm again. But the monster notices it and jumps back to avoid it, leaving Lizard alone on the broken ground. The monster looks at Lizard while thinking he needs to aim for the head when Lizard vision is obscured. Then he holds to his weapon tightly while thinking he needs to try his best. Then the monster ran toward Lizard, determined that he needs to pierce Lizard head. The monster saw Lizard facing the other way, and when Lizard looked back, the monster is near to his face, smiling and shouting that it's over. Then the monster's weapon aimed at Lizard's head, but when the monster attacked Lizard, his weapon broke into pieces, which made the monster stun in shock. Lizard just smiled and asked the monster why is he there, which made the monster face turn into despair. The monster felt again the fear he felt in the face of Chen Wu. Then the monster dropped his broken weapon on the ground. Unlike last time, the monster that time sensing his death, and it began running without looking back. But Lizard jumped toward the monster. Then Lizard was smiling while readying his arm weapon while the monster face is full of despair. Then Lizard smashed the monster's head using his arm, which made the monster's head bounce to the ground and roll before it stopped. The head of the monster was on the ground, that currently fading its ring on the head. Wonder how come he was killed by a human. On the other hand, Lizard walks toward the monster's head, drops his arm weapon on the ground, and then grabs the fading ring of the monster's head while saying he'll give the monster a name before it dies. Lizard lifted the monster's head while looking at it and said, from now on, the monster's name is the beginning of revenge. Then he drops the monster's head on the ground without its ring. Then he looks at it while telling his mother and father that it has finally started, and he said he will take vengeance by killing all the monsters. Chin tells Lizard that they should go and he'll take him to a nearby village, which made Lizard turn to Chin and ask if they need to go right now. Chin responded yes and said the village was probably around the corner. Then look up and Lizard thanked Chin. Lizard and Chin walk toward the village. While walking, Lizard asks Chin what would have happened if the divine power took a lot of time to get possessed. Chin just silent for a moment, then Chin responded hatred, which made Lizard shocked. Chin tells Lizard that he believed his hatred would shorten the time for possession. But he didn't expect him to do it in one go, and Chin said maybe it was guilt. Chin said a boy who doesn't even know what a monster hunter is, and he said it's been a while since he had seen someone like Lizard. Lizard responded he guessed so. Suddenly they saw something explode in the village, which made them shocked. Then Lizard uses the divine power again, which made his body flinch a little. Then Chin and Lizard ran toward the village. Meanwhile, people in the village were panicking and running because the monster is in the village. On the top of the building there are many monsters. One monster said there are no monster hunters in the village. Then the other monster said he had no idea that there was still a village with no monster hunters. One monster asks the other monster how long will they take because he's going to miss the people by just watching. Then the monster jumps off the building and ran toward the people while saying today shall be a feast to him. The kid was running with the other people while catching his breath. Suddenly he trips and falls to the ground. Then the kid feels the monster was behind him. Then the monster asks if he shall start eating the kid, which made the kid scared. When the monster was about to eat the kid's face, Lizard jumped from afar toward the monster and punched the monster away from the kid. Lizard landed on the ground with the monster. Then the monster was shocked to see a monster hunter. Lizard punched the monster's head, which made the monster's head break into pieces. Then Lizard looks at the other monsters who currently panicking. One of the monsters asked the other monster why he said there was no monster trainer in the village, and the monster said he knew that it would happen. Then one of the monsters jumped away, which made the other monster ask it why it was running. The monster said they should cut the crap because he doesn't want to die. But the monster was cut in half, which made the other monster shocked. Chin is the one who cut the monster in half. Chin thinks there must be guardian divisions in all villages, but he wonders why he can't see them. Suddenly, the two monsters jumps toward Chin while saying if they get rid of Lizard and Chin, the rest will be theirs. The two monsters were going to attack Chin, but Chin just said the two monsters are greedy foxes. Then he cut the two monsters in pieces while angrily asking the monster what they were whispering. Then Chin looks at the other monsters and uses his blade aura to attack the other monsters. The one monster angrily asks the other monster what is he trying to do, but before the monster can finish his words, he got cut in half by Chin's sword aura, while the other monster got down on the ground in time to avoid Chin's attack. Then the monster looks at Chin angrily and looks down at a kid on the ground while wondering how can that situation happen to them. The monster jumps off the building and ran toward the kid while saying he's gonna eat at least one person before dying. But before the monster can get to the kid, then suddenly a hands appear right in front of its face. Then Lizard punches its face, and the monster's body was thrown on the ground and stopped in front of the kid. Lizard kicks the monster's body away, then the monster's body hit the building. Then Lizard tells the kid not to look at the monster's body because isn't a good thing for a kid. Then Chin landed on the ground while telling Lizard that he did a good job. On the other hand, the people were stand in shock for a moment. Then the people shouted that they were saved. The people celebrate and thank the monster's hunter. Then the kid called Lizard and asked if Lizard is a new hunter, which made Lizard look back and confused. Suddenly Lizard saw something. He saw someone crying because that person's loved one got killed, which made Lizard sad. From behind Lizard, Chin tells Lizard to think of the people he saved. Then Chin patted Lizard's head while telling Lizard to let him think of the dead. Suddenly someone in the crowd raised its hand and walked toward Lizard and Chin to said he's the village head. Then the man thanked Lizard and Chin for saving the villager, and the man said if there's anything they need, he'll be glad to help them. Chin thanks the man and he holds Lizard's shoulder while saying Lizard has no clothes and nothing to eat, to which the man understands and said they should leave it to him. Then the man grabs Lizard's shoulder while shouting to the villager to guide the hero who saved their village to the bathhouse, and he asks the villager to prepare clothes and food for the monster hunters, while Chin was smiling from behind. While Lizard was being carried by the villager to the bathhouse, Chin noticed something from afar. On the other hand, someone found the monster's body and said he thinks someone arrived before them. The woman looked at someone and said she guessed that person protected the village. Then they saw Chin walking toward them, which made the woman ask if Chin is the one who blew away the entire monster's island. And the other man also asked if Chin seemed kind of angry, while the leader was in fear. Chin said he wondered why there was no guard on duty. Then he asked them if is it not their duty. The leader immediately apologized, which made the two other guards shocked. The other guard explained that there was no monster for quite a while, but the leader angrily covered the man's mouth, which made the man shocked. Chin asks the guard what would have happened to the villager if he hadn't come and if they're going to make such excuses in front of the dead. Then Chin tells the guards that he'll keep them in his mind, and he asks the guard if they know what he means. The guards immediately said yes. Chin turned around while ordering the guards to start by apologizing to the victims' families and taking responsibility for the casualty, to which the guards immediately agreed. An hour later, the night come. Chin was resting on the side, and when he peeked to see Lizard walking toward him. Shio tells Lizard that he looks quite handsome after cutting his hair. Lizard responded he guesses his hair is his weakness and he thinks it was not good to play with it. Then Lizard bowed his head to Chin, while thanking Chin again, and he said because of Chin he now had a goal, which made Chin ask what goal Lizard is talking about. Lizard responded his goal is killing all the monsters as if the monsters didn't exist from the beginning. Chin said Lizard goal is a tough goal, and it would be better if Lizard becomes a monster hunter. Lizard agreed to become a hunter monster and explained that back then he couldn't see anything because he was so swamped by vengeance. But now he has decided to become a monster hunter. Then Lizard started to kneel while saying he had no shame, so we'll get down on his knees one more time. When Lizard completely kneeled, he asks Chin to accept him as a disciple because he wants to see his path ahead. Then Lizard looked down, but Chin just walked past him. Then Chin stops and looks back at Lizard while telling him that they should go. Then Chin called Lizard disciple, which shocked Lizard. Then Lizard looks back to Chin, who currently walking away, and stands up while agreeing with his teacher Chin. Chin tells Lizard to be prepared because his training would be hard. Lizard, who currently running to keep up with Chin, responded yes. Suddenly the kid ran toward Chin and Lizard while calling Lizard. While running, the kid thanked Lizard again for saving him, and the kid also said someday he's gonna be a rookie too. The kid shouted to tell Lizard that he's going to save people just like him. The kid catches his breath while looking at Chin and Lizard, who were walking away, then smiled because he saw Lizard raising his fist as a goodbye, which made the kid happily shout to tell Lizard all the best, brother. While Chin and Lizard were walking, Chin tells Lizard that before they begin his training, first he should learn a bit about the monster hunters. Lizard asks Chin if isn't the monster hunter is supposed to kill the monsters. Chin responded it was just a half-truth. Then Chin explained that the hunters protect the humans and destroy monsters. Also, there are two divisions of monster hunters that share the same fundamental ideology but have different core objectives. The first one is the Guardian's Army. The Guardian's Army primarily protects the human territory and destroys the monsters that invade it. Then the second one is the Advanced Division. The Advanced Division goes out of the human territory to destroy the monsters. Then Chin asks Lizard which one he wants to join. Lizard responded he wants to join to Advanced Division. Chin tells Lizard that his decision was good and they should start the training now, which made Lizard excited because they will start the training. Then Chin said the training they're going to do now is running, which made Lizard confused. Chin laughed and asked Lizard if he's disappointed. Then Chin explained that the basis of all movements is running, to which Lizard just agreed in disappointment. But Chin looked at Lizard and said they were going to run while possessing the power, and they will also train to maintain the spirit, which made Lizard light up again. Then Chin ordered Lizard to possess the power, to which Lizard immediately followed. Then Lizard asked Chin if he's not going to use the divine tower. Chin responded he don't need to because when they reach the perfect possession, God's power is conveyed on its own to some extent. Then Chin tells Lizard that they should go, which made Lizard agree in excitement. Then they started running. The night fades, the dawn fades and the morning comes, but Chin and Lizard are still running. While Lizard complains about how long they have to run, Lizard said it's so hard that he feels like he's gonna die. Chin looks at Lizard completely okay while asking if he didn't rest just a while back. Lizard responded that he's not resting and he just became slow because of running for so long. But Chin just ran past Lizard, while Lizard is still complaining and asking Chin when is giving him a real break instead of those fake breaks. When Lizard catches up to Chin, Chin tells Lizard that they will take a break, which made Lizard look at Chin and ask if Chin was saying the truth. But Chin also said they should get rid of the monsters, which made Lizard shocked and look his way. Lizard saw many monsters eating and walking in one place, then Lizard smiled, then squeezed his arm and pulled it out while saying he'll going to destroy each one of the monsters. Chin and Lizard ran toward the monster, which made one monster notice them. Then the monster tells the other monster that human beings are going their way, which made the other monsters shocked. Then the monsters excitedly said it was delicious food. Then the monsters ran toward Chin and Lizard. Lizard holds to his arm weapon tightly and smashed the monster's head, but more monsters appear in front of him. Lizard swings his arm weapon back, then hit the monster's head one by one, which made the monsters thrown on the wall. Lizard laughed and said it'd be best if the monsters all explode. Suddenly, one monster swings its hand and hit Lizard's body. Lizard gets angry and smashes the monster's head using his arm weapon to the ground. Lizard looked at the dead monster and said it was useless. Then Chin, who was currently being attacked by another monster called Lizard. Chin, who's being attacked, tells Lizard that he thinks he should try to avoid all the monster attacks before he kills them, which made Lizard ask if that is necessary. Chin, who just avoided the monster attack, responded that it will make him stronger and Lizard should trust him. Lizard agreed while the monster was about to attack him, then he avoided it. Then he punched the monster's head, which made the monster's head explode. The other monsters ran toward Lizard while saying the one who grabs Lizard first will eat Lizard, which made Lizard shocked. Then Lizard jumps to the air, leaving the monster in the ground. Then the monster followed him in the air and the monster was about to bite Lizard's arm from behind while Lizard was looking on the ground saying he don't think he can avoid all of the monsters. Then the monster bites Lizard's arm, which made Lizard in pain. The monster said Lizard's arm is delicious, then Lizard grabs the monster head. Then Lizard landed on the ground while holding the face of the monster. When he was on the ground, the other monsters tries to attack him again, which made Lizard angrier and asked the monster why they are talking nonsense. Then Lizard hold to his arm weapons tightly with the divine power. Then Lizard launches and smash and cuts every monsters that in his way while running. Lizard stopped for a second, but the other monster launched an attack behind him while excitedly saying, Lizard is delicious food. Lizard looks back and cuts in half all the monsters behind him in one swing of his arm weapon. The other monsters were hesitating to attack Lizard. But Lizard tells the others monster don't just run away because they're scared, and he called the monsters weaklings to provoke the monsters. The monsters gets angry and attacked Lizard. A few minutes later, Lizard was lying on the ground relaxing while saying he had fun. Suddenly, Chin asks Lizard if he rested long enough, which made Lizard sit up and ask if they leaving too soon. Chin responded yes and asked Lizard if he aren't hungry. Lizard responded cheerfully that is hungry. Then Chin stretches his body while saying they will go eat at the next village. This made Lizard stunned for a moment, then he realized something. And that's how Lizard began running again. They ran from one village to another and every time they saw the monsters, they killed them, and then they ran again. They ran for a couple of days, to several weeks, to the point that Lizard lost the track of time because he ran around so much. Eventually, Lizard was on the brink of collapse before they made it to the next village. At the front of the village, Lizard is amazed that the village is really big. Then Lizard asks Chin if they're going to rest there, and he tells Chin they need to hurry up and go to eat. While they walking down the stairs, Chin said they will eat on their way, which made Lizard confused and asked what kind of training Chin was talking about. Chin responded that it wasn't training and he mean they were going to eat on their way. Then Chin pointed to the sky while ordering Lizard to look at it. Lizard was confused, but he saw something in the sky. That something get down on the land, which made Lizard shocked. Then the big ship with a castle landed on the ground, which made Lizard amazed. The announcer said the ship will be departing to the central city in a few minutes, and if the people have to travel, they should get on board. Chin tells Lizard that it was for eating delicious food and sleeping well. Then Chin held Lizard's shoulder and tells Lizard that they should go to the hunter base. Lizard smiled and immediately agreed. Chin and Lizard entered the ship, then the ship fly to the sky. A few hours later, Lizard was boring just looking at Chin, who currently reading a book. Suddenly, the announcer announced that their ship will be arriving at the central city shortly. Then Lizard put his face on the ship's glass and was surprised. Then he was amazed to see the beautiful central city. Lizard sadly said he wished they'd lived in a place like the central city. A moment later, Lizard and Chin arrive in the central city. While walking, Lizard asks Chin why did they come to the central city if he said he would take him to the hunter's base. Chin responded that because the new headquarters is in the central city. Then Chin Chin pointed at something while saying that the huge tree over there is their new headquarters, which made Lizard shocked and asked Chin if the huge tree actually the headquarters. Lizard looks at the tree and asks Chin if they really have to go to the tree because it's incredible. Then Lizard confidently looks and asks Chin what he needs to do to become a new hunter. Chin responded that there was nothing much to do and that he will vouch for him. Lizard confidently said Chin will be vouching for him. Chin tells Lizard to get serious because he's going to be a new monster hunter on his recommendation, so the other hunters will be observing him even more strictly, to which Lizard immediately agreed. A few minutes later, at the headquarters, the man at the table stamps Lizard paper while saying with Chin Wu's reference, is letting him join the advanced division. Then the man asks Lizard about his outfit. Lizard confusingly asks what outfit. The man responded Monster Hunter clothes, but Lizard just said they should just give the outfit to him then. The man just looks at Lizard angrily while thinking Lizard looks young. But he wonders why does Lizard keep talking informally to him and how did Chin Wu brings Lizard. The man angrily stands up while telling Lizard that he'll just give the ones with basic color outfits to him. On the other hand, Chin was reading a book when someone called him. Chin stand up and salute the man and called the man Yi-sun. Then Chin said it's been a while since he saw Yi-sun. Yi-sun responded it's been a while. A battalion commander named Yi-sun tells Chin that he's been away for quite long. Then Yi-sun laughs, telling Chin that as usual nothing special happened to him. Chin responded that Yi-sun was right, while Lizard was confused. Then Lizard ran toward Chin and asked Yi-sun how dare he put his hand on his teacher Chin's shoulder, which made Chin shocked and Yi-sun confused. Chin hits Lizard head while laughing and telling Yi-sun that his disciple is immature, to which made Yi-sun laugh while saying Lizard was full of spirit. Then Yi-sun looked at Lizard while telling Chin that he said he'd been away for quite long, and Yi-sun said he see Chin found the gem. Suddenly someone behind Lizard said if Lizard do that kind of act again, he will blow Lizard hair, and that man is named Rayon, Yi-sun's student, and the other man named Jeong-suk said such words and actions ain't appropriate to address the elders. And Jeong-suk is also Yi-sun's student. Then Jeong salute to Chin Wu and asks Chin how are he because it's been a while. Then Jeong tells Rayon to say hello to Chin, but Rayon asks Chin if Lizard is his student and why his student is so rude. Chin responded that Lizard is his student, while Lizard angrily asked Rayon what did he say, which made Rayon shocked because Chin got a brat student. Chin tapped Lizard's shoulder and ordered Lizard to say hello to Yi-sun's disciples, but Lizard angrily said the two men are so arrogant. Then Lizard angrily tells Rayon and Jeong that he's much stronger than them. This made Jeong shocked and made Rayon angry, then asked what did Lizard say. Rayon and Lizard angrily look at each other, while Yi-sun just laughs because he thinks they're so funny. Then Yi-sun said in that case they should find out who was stronger than them. Yi-sun asks Chin what he thinks because he thinks it's a good idea that their students compete with each other. Chin looked at angry Lizard and said that Yi-sun's plan is sound good. Then Yi-sun asks the man at the desk named Jae-suk to find him a cleanup operation. Cleanup operation means a mission to hunt monsters. Then Yi-sun walks away first while saying his appointing Chin as the platoon leader, to which Chin immediately agrees. On the other hand, Lizard teases Rayon, who is currently being pulled back by Jeong. Then Yi-sun called them to follow and tell them that they should have fun. Chin tells the students that they're a platoon, while Jeong trying to stop Lizard and Rayon to fight. A minute later, they walked to someplace, then the man saluted Chin and called Chin to tell him the way. The man gave the coordinates to Chin while saying he had arranged a vehicle for him. Chin get the coordinates and thanked the man. Then Chin looks back to tell the students that they're leaving and everyone should get in the palanquin, while Lizard and Rayon are still teasing each other. Chin opens the coordinates, then put it into the machine. Then the coordinates letter lights up. Chin and the students sit on the palanquin while the man salutes Chin and wishes for their safe return. Chin tells the man to have a nice day, then Chin drives the palanquin fast, so much faster that Lizard face was pulling back in. On their ride, Lizard was amazed that the palanquin is fast and wonders if the palanquin is the same as the previous dragon ship he rides on. Then Lizard looks at his fist while thinking that he was excited for no reason and he wants to hurry up to see the monsters because he wants to kill all the monsters in a single blow. A moment later, Lizard and Jeong were asleep while Rayon was looking at the way confused. Then they arrived at their destination. Rayon then asked Chin if he's resting. Chin responded he's not there for resting. Then Rayon looked at Lizard and said he thinks someone there is resting. But Lizard just laughs, which made Rayon angry, and asks Lizard how dare he laugh. Then Jeong stops Rayon and tells Rayon to hold his horses. Suddenly someone called Chin Wu platoon, which made Rayon and Jeong shocked. Then Chin shouted commence the operation. Rayon hold on to his weapons, Jeong ready himself, and Lizard just smiled while thinking he's gonna kill all the monsters. Then Chin orders the students to march ahead. Rayon and Jeong responded to Chin, but Lizard immediately jumped. Lizard was screaming in air, then when he landed uses his divine power. Then Lizard runs toward the place, which made Rayon said he don't like the way Lizard was possessed now. But Jeong tells Rayon that the operation has begun and they should go. Rayon responded he know and showed his weapon. Then Rayon said they should show the lizard the power difference between them. But Jiang just tell Rayon to focus on the operation.